All right, the first thing you're going to have to do is memorize these formulas. Good thing there's not that many. You'll either have like a prism that is, or a pyramid or a prism, which this is a prism with a rectangular base or a square base. So these two are pretty much the same. You have to memorize the volume is length times width times height. So if all else fails, remember to just multiply 3 times 8 times 4, or 5.2 times 5.2 times 5.2. So either way it goes, you just need to memorize this, okay? So these are really good notes because here they leave the blanks for you. So the volume is length times width times height. You have to memorize that. It will help you so much. So the length is 8. The width is 4. And the height is 3. And so you just multiply 8 times 4 times 3. All right, and 8 times 4 times 3 is 96. And the unit is centimeters cubed. No matter what, like even here, answer always given in cubic units. That's what it means. Volume is always cubed. Just like I'm pretty sure you just finished area. Area is always squared. And this is centimeters cubed. This doesn't mean you have to go and cube this 96. Your answer is 96 centimeters cubed. All right, so this number 2, you have a cube. So what we know about a cube, just like if you were playing with some dice or whatever, all of the sides are the same. So you have 5.2, 5.2, no matter what, they're all 5.2 centimeters. So it's very easy then, right? Because you have volume equals length. The length is 5.2 times width, 5.2 times height, 5.2. And then you just do the math. And that gives you 140.608, the units centimeters cubed. All right, now you have for number 3 and 4, if you notice the bases are triangles. So you no longer have rectangle prisms, you have triangle based prisms. Same thing, but this time you're going to find the area of your base times height, and you're going to have to multiply base times height, divide that by 2, and then multiply by the height of the actual figure. So you're dealing with the base first. So look at the triangle first. Again, please memorize this. You multiply the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle and divide that by 2, and then you multiply by the actual base. So here, the base of that little triangle is 7. So you're going to write in 7. And then the height of this little triangle is 8. So you'll take that and divide it by 2, and you're going to multiply it by this long height, which is 12. So I won't say it's hard, but the most confusing part is just memorizing it. But what you're doing is just find the area of this base. Okay, this is a triangle, and the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. It's the same thing. So you're pretty much finding the area of the base, all of this, times the height. All right, so now you just do your math. 7 times 8 is 56. And then you bring your 2 down, and then you divide that by 12. And then you have 56 divided by 2, and that's 28. And you still multiply it by 12. So I've done that. And then 28 times 12 is 336. And the units feet squared. So again, you just need to recognize when to use the formulas. So if you have a square base, you use what we used on the previous page here. Length times width times height. So if you have a rectangle or square base, you use length times width times height. But if you have one that looks like this with the triangle base, you have to you multiply the base and the height and divide that by 2, and then you multiply it by the height. So you just need to practice and memorize that. It'll get easier, but only with your practice. So let's come down here. Automatically, you see this triangle, and it has a triangle on each side. So that means these are the bases, right? So you're going to find the area of this triangle. So you have the base of the triangle is 3. And the height, you see the arrow? Whenever you see the little dotted line in the right angle mark, you know that's the height. Times 4.2. And of course, we're going to divide it by 2, but times the height of this entire figure. So that's 8. And then you do your math, your algebra that you already know. I'm going to use my calculator. 3 times 4.2 is 12.6 over 2 times 8. I'm just taking those steps. 12.6 divided by 2 is 6.3. Bring that down and multiply it by 8. And 6.3 times 8 is 50.4. So the volume of this triangular prism is 50.4 meters cubed. All right, so now we have pyramids, and a pyramid is just what you know what it looks like. You know, you go back to Egypt and you talked about pyramids with the little pointy tip. That's just what it means. Now, if you look, you have different types of pyramids too. And again, you're just going to have to memorize or know when to use what formula. Like here, you have a pyramid, but look at the base. It's shaped like a square. But it's still a pyramid, and you can tell. So just think back to like the Egyptians and the pyramids in your history class. That'll help you remember it. So with this one, you're going to multiply 1/3 times length times width times height. I always just multiply length times width times height and divide it by 3. That's the same thing. So let's find the length. Since it's a square, we know both lengths are going to be 3 centimeters. So the length is 3, the width is 3. Let's plug that in. 3, 3. And the height is 15. That's the height. So you have 3 times 3 times 15, which is 135. And 1/3 times 135 is the same as saying 135 divided by 3. And that's what you do. You put 135 divided by 3, and that gives you 45. So the volume of that pyramid is 45 centimeters cubed. Volume's always cubed. All right, number 6, same thing. You see the pyramid, you see the base, length times width times height divided by 3. So if it's a square, we know if this is 6, this is also 6. So 6 times 6 times 5, because the height is 5. And 6 times 6 times 5 is 180. So 1/3 times 180 is the same as dividing by 3. And 180 divided by 3 is 60. The unit centimeters cubed. So you pretty much just plugging it in. Now for number 7, look at the shape of the base. It is a triangle. So again, you have the area of the base, and that's what we've been doing, finding the area of the base times the height divided by 3. So this time, since it's a triangle, we're going to find the area of the base of the triangle times the height and still divided by 3, but it looks different. Again, you're just going to have to memorize or know when to use what formula. With the practice, you'll be able to easily do that. All right, so the base of this triangle is 18 centimeters. The height of that base of the triangle, of this triangle is 15.6. And the height of this entire pyramid is 14.7. So it's just all about knowing where to plug in your values, and you should be fine. If you ever see a triangle, just know you're about to have to divide by 2 as well. That always helps. So we have 18 times 15.6, and that's 280.8. Of course, it's still divided by 2 times 14.7. All right, 280 divided by 2 is 140.4. And of course, you still bring down your 14.7. All right, so 1/3 times all of this is the same as dividing by 1/3. I'm sorry, dividing by 3. So you have 140.4 times 14.7, and that's 2,063.88, and then you divide it by 3. So it's 687.96, or 687 and 96 hundredths. And the units, centimeters cubed. All right, and number 8, you have a triangle as the base. So you're going to have to find the area of this triangle first. Then you're going to multiply it by the height and divide it all by 3. So let's find the base, 4.5, 4.5. The height of that base is 3.9. And the height of the entire figure is 3.7. All right, so let's do our algebra. 4.5 times 3.9, 17.55. And of course, bring down your 3.7. So 17.55 divided by 2 is 8.775. And we're going to multiply that by 3.7. And that's 32.4675. All divided by 3. And that should give you 10.8225 units centimeters cubed.